Hello, dear viewer. Welcome to your daily messages. So, in these videos, I get out some messages or some guidance or something for whomever needs it at this point. My intention with these videos is just provide some reflection or some guidance or some advice or maybe something you don't know about showing up in the cards for you to look at. Oh, this doesn't belong here. Oh, silly me, put them in the wrong pack. So yeah, those are my intentions with it. Keep in mind that these are collective readings. Not everything I say will resonate for your story. Take whatever resonates, and if nothing resonates for you in this reading, you can check out some of my other videos. I do these every day, and you may find messages in those. They're timeless. You can watch them anytime. So let's see, let me get you an I Ching hexagram for today. What do we have for the collective? You've got number 50, the cauldron. In this deck, they're called differently, but the traditional name of these hexagrams are quite different than what this deck says. I go with the traditional stuff. Over here is the crucible, but it's kind of different. So let's see what the flowers have for you. You've got peace, cherry blossom, and from the astrology cards, we have for collective. We've got the 10th house, the world. And get you some tarot cards. That's interesting. I see actually a connection between this number 50 and the world, because this talks about civilization, things being built that are useful in some way. The cauldron is where nourishment is being prepared. It has somewhat of a connection to the world card. So what else you got for the collective? Seven of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Okay. It does seem like you are trying to build something here with the 10th house. This is the house of how you're seen in the world. What is your legacy? What do you build? What do you leave behind? What you are known for? And it does seem like you're working on building something here with the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. It does feel like you've achieved some sort of a milestone here, but there is a lot that still worries you about what you're doing. So I feel like I am connecting to someone who is very focused on their career, what it is that they're wanting to be known for, wanting to build, basically. It's kind of interesting. 34 here adds to 7. So there's a connection there too. The Seven of Pentacles is someone that has planted seeds at some point, and they're waiting for harvest. And they're wondering, is it ready yet? So perhaps a lot of your questions and worries at this point is about, am I going to get the things that I've invested in? Am I going to get a return in that? Is it going to be fruitful? Are my business dealings or whatever it is I am doing in career or studies or whatever, is it worth my time? Is it worth my investment? Am I going to get something out of it? And I see you being quite worried about this situation with the Nine of Swords. Now, for some of you, the world and the Nine of Swords could also be that you carry some sort of a detrimental self-image, in a sense of the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you is quite different. You may see yourself as someone that is not accomplished enough, or not um, pretty enough, handsome enough, or qualified enough. Let's say there's a lot of shame situation going on there with that Nine of Swords. Perhaps you have somewhat of a distorted view of your image in the world. Okay. Or there's just literally a lot of worry or a lot of shame or a lot of guilt surrounding what you do. Okay. Maybe you just feel like what you're doing is not, I wouldn't say appropriate, but maybe there's something there that you feel like is not good or appropriate, or something. Or you just worry a lot that you're not going to succeed to be seen in the world. So let me see this hexagram 50, what it's about. So number 50 is fire over wind. Wow, supreme good fortune, success, consolidating fate by making your position correct. So yeah, definitely someone who is very preoccupied with position, okay, with status. And because this hexagram says supreme good fortune and success and consolidating your place in the world, um, it sure does make sense right now, because I did see the connection as soon as I pulled the cards, that that is a position in the world. Now I see you being worried about it, but the hexagram says don't be worried about it because you've got success coming. Now the cauldron, yes, is the idea of where you prepare nourishment to feed the rest of the peoples, the people of the village, or the people that surround you. So you could be someone that's actually in a position of nourishing others, but in a sense of this is very ancient Chinese wisdom, so applied to today's world. You could be someone that is in a position of authority. Let's say you're in a position of managing other people, nourishing other people, but not, maybe not like in a literal sense. Maybe you provide some kind of service to the people of the world that is nourishing in some sense, okay? Whether this is intellectual nourishment, literal physical nourishment, or monetary nourishment. You're in a position here to create nourishment for others, whatever that may mean to you, whatever that line of business is for you. So the cauldron is similar to the well hexagram. It does talk about nourishing, but in this particular one is nourishment with the intervention of the mankind, where you're building things to actually help people be nourished. Okay, so you are that kind of a person that does that. So this talks about being useful, having the right place in society, preparing food, okay, in quotation, whatever food is. social structures. This is also the 10th house. So there's a correlation here between the two of those. And very interesting, this particular hexagram talks about all things visible that grow beyond themselves, meaning what you provide, let's say, for the world has a meaning that is higher than itself. Let's say you're a person who nourishes people in some way, shape, or form, but this nourishment actually goes way, way beyond what you're doing right now in the present moment. This particular nourishment could actually be a higher purpose, let's say. Maybe you're a spiritual leader, or maybe you're a teacher. If you're a teacher specifically, this is a very good example because you provide nourishment for the minds of the people, but this providing of nourishment actually goes beyond itself, okay? Because the people you're nourishing, they will go in their turn and nourish others, okay? So what you're doing now, it actually goes beyond um, the visible structure of what you're doing. So it's a very interesting combination here, okay? So whatever social structure you're a part of, um, it seems like you have some sort of important role here. Okay, maybe this is the reading where you're realizing that you have a higher important role. Maybe this is where your doubts are at this point, at this Nine of Swords, that you may not be qualified for whatever it is you want to do, in providing for other people. But there's an indication here that this is the right path for you. Okay, so I would say, as advice for you, if you're seeking some sort of guidance in regards to your path is about taking care of the world in whatever shape or form that is to you, providing nourishment, building some sort of structure or business or something that nourishes beyond itself. Okay, if that makes sense. This is also the idea of sacrifice, the cauldron. In ancient times, the cauldron was also a place of gathering for sacrificial things, sacrificial rites. And then food was prepared. And sacrifice, in these days could be that you may need to sacrifice certain things in your life for the greater good, um, to provide for others, in a sense. And because you have peace right here in the middle, um, this is something that brings you peace, and this is something that could bring peace to the world. Now, I mean, that's a very grandiose sort of idea, but the idea of peace comes up right in between this path of yours in life, this nourishment you're providing for others. Okay, and in this Four of Wands, there's also the idea of the sacred fire that comes up. Okay, there is a fire in this hexagram. There's fire in this hexagram as well. So fire has the qualities of the creative force, and um, the what's the word? Purification. That's what I meant to say. So whatever it is you're doing has those qualities of purification and helping others. The Four of Wands also talks about a gathering, and again, the Ten of House is the world. So again, there's the idea of multiple people being involved here in some way, shape, or form. um, this hexagram also says the fate of the fire depends on wood. Likewise, a person's fate that has to be rooted in something. your your fire burns, your fire of creation, of expression burns because you have some sort of inner desire or some sort of inner thing that drives you. Okay, there's something that drives you into whatever it is you're doing, or at least you need to find something that drives you into creating the things you want to create. And again, I'm getting the idea of something that is beyond your person. I mean, success does come with this, and it feels like it's bringing you a lot of attention in the world. But this isn't something for your own ego, okay? It's um, something that is shared with others, let's say. So, yeah, that's what I have about this hexagram. It's a very interesting one. And now there is a short success here. However, there is a lot of worry on your part and when it comes to that. So I will try to pull another card when it comes to this Nine of Swords to see what else is coming through here. The Two of Swords. Okay. So I do pick up on a lot of overthinking here when it comes to making a decision. Okay. And because the idea of sacrifice also comes up here, it could be that you're making a decision. You may need to sacrifice something that is dear to you, and you're having a hard time doing that. Okay. That's one scenario of the story. The other scenario could be with this Two of Swords and Nine of Swords is that you're not having enough peace of mind to detach yourself from a situation in order to make the right decision. Because the Two of Swords talks about someone being blind and deaf to the outside world in order to go within themselves and make a decision that's not influenced by outside sources. Okay. Because it's clarifying the Nine of Swords, I feel like you're having a hard time quieting that critical mind, or whatever negative thoughts you have going through your mind is actually clouding your judgment quite literally with this combination. Okay, so I was trying to find out why you're so worried here. So because I got the Two of Swords, I'm not going to inquire further because this is a general reading, but the very strong message here for you is there's a need for you to somehow stop the negative chatter in order to make the right decision. Now, for some of you, you're refusing to make a decision because it's a very, very difficult decision. Because the Nine of Swords is attached to the Two of Swords. This is a very difficult decision you may have to make. Okay. These are swords, so it could talk about sharply cutting something, becoming very clear and very driven, very focused on practical matters, on getting your mind disciplined or something like that. Um, but yeah, I see a very difficult decision for you to make here, and it does have a lot to do with your situation in the world, your higher purpose, your goals, your aspirations. You could be the kind of person that does have a higher goal here on this earth, and obviously there's a lot of sacrifices that one makes in their personal life in order to do something higher than themselves. And there's also a lot of doubt here that you will be successful when it comes to this. Okay, that's Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Swords and Two of Swords. There is some doubts here in regards to getting to where you need to go. Now, it could be that you may have some small obstacles um, in the way of getting to your purpose, but I also see you crossing a threshold here. And It's interesting you have peace, and there's two doves here on this Four of Wands. That's a symbol of peace as well. So there is something here in regards to peace that is helping you achieve some sort of a milestone, because the Four of Wands is some kind of a threshold. That's the classical meaning of the card. But it also fours talk about stability. There's something here that is being rooted into you, and I feel like it's rooted into that peaceful sort of energy. Okay, that harmony. That's another one that comes again very strongly with the Four Wands. There's something harmonious here that is being rooted into you, and that may as well be your core from which you draw your power to do what you do. There's also a lot of doubts that come with that, because absolutely they are. We're all human. So I will see what else it says on that peace card. So the meaning of peace is, it says, let the heart guide you with decisions at the moment. Yeah, for sure. Because you're trying to make a decision from a place of anxiety and worry, and that's not from the heart. Okay, so there's an advice here for you to let your heart guide you in this matter. This is a time of forgiveness, letting go of grudges, because these are upsetting the natural balance and can be easily achieved. Be true and kind to yourself, especially in situations involving other people and institutions. Coexistence and harmony issues are at the forefront. So look around at what may be connected, but you are neglecting to recognize. Integrity is indicated, as is acceptance. So, yeah, pretty much what I've been saying so far. Um, there is some sort of a balance here that needs to be achieved, some sort of harmony. And I feel like the harmony has a lot to do with yourself, okay, your persona, and the outer layer of your existence, what's outside of you, okay? That's the 10th house. And maybe needing to find some calm so you can actually make the right decisions. But rest assured, dear viewer, that your success is assured here. Whether there is time involved with the success, or whatever obstacles you have, I feel like it's of your own mind. They probably don't really exist in reality, but there is success here coming up for you, and there's major success in regards to your career, your outside world, the purpose, the goal you have in life here. Okay, so that was your reading. I wish you the best, and I'll see you soon. Bye.